Hi and welcome back to the channel. On this video, I'm going to be taking you through my match reactions to the Aston Villa versus Arsenal game, which finished 2-0 to the Arsenal. Raya shines once again and TROSSARD comes off the bench, showing his qualities once again. I'm going to be taking you through some talking points during the game. And if this is the kind of video that you like, and if you're new around here, please consider liking and sharing, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. It will go a long way in helping me grow. So without further ado, let's get straight into my reactions. I don't know about you guys, but that first half literally had me on the edge of my seat. Honestly, I couldn't stop screaming at the TV. I watched it from home. I was basically watching the game and I was like, what the hell am I watching? It just basically looked too stagnant, and it looked like it was a game of chess between two teams, sort of trying to suss each other out, sort of like, you come out and let's try and break you down and so forth. To be really honest, I just felt like with Aston Villa playing at home, they did obviously let Arsenal have a lot of the ball, and typical Aston Villa setup, they were basically waiting for Arsenal to make a mistake and obviously break them on a counter-attack. And to be fair to them, they actually did that on a couple of occasions during the game. Quite early on, I mean, Gabriel got caught out at the back, and you know, Watkins, any other day you would have put your money on it that Watkins was going to put that away. And luckily for us, he literally kicked it wide and it was literally off target. And that was like basically the first warning in the game. We kind of fixed up, and as the game progressed in the first half, like I said, it was one of those things where you just you were so eager, because I think what happened last season with Arsenal getting beaten home and away with Aston Villa, you were so eager to see Arsenal sort of come in and dominate the game, score like 2, 3, 4 goals, because as fans, we were so eager to see that kind of performance. But it was an edgy performance, a tactical one, two managers sort of similar playing style, trying to suss each other out. And basically that's how the game sort of panned out for the majority of the first half. I believe it was in the second half we had another sort of scare. Ollie Watkins once again headed into the goal. Honestly, I thought that was in. And out of nowhere, what did David Raya do? He does what he does best. And literally, I mean, it's probably, I know he's only 2 games in, save of the season so far. It just goes to show like why he had so many clean sheets last season. I think it was like 16 clean sheets. And obviously he's being helped by the defense, don't get me wrong, but David Raya, obviously that save was fantastic. It literally was like, you know, heart in mouth sort of situation, but again, he saved us. That was at 0-0. So imagine if that goal had gone in, it would have been a typical Aston Villa reverted back, probably parking the bus like they did in a similar game last season when they played us at home and won 1-0 when they scored quite early on and literally just defended for the whole game. But this time around, David Raya came to our defense and obviously made a fantastic game. And obviously after that, it was just one of those games you were just looking at who can actually come on and actually make a difference. And if you guys watched my previous video when I did my match review, my match preview, sorry, I did actually went with TROSSARD to actually start over Matinelli. I don't know what you guys thought in regards to that. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. I actually wanted Timber, who also started in the left back, so I predicted that one, and also TROSSARD to start over Martinelli. But as we know, Martinelli actually started, and in my opinion, I personally don't reckon he had a good game. I don't know what it is. I just feel like since Martinelli's injury 2 seasons ago, that bad injury, I believe it was against Brighton, he hasn't actually come back to the Martinelli that we know. This is Martinelli previously that will be scoring at least 10 Premier League goals a season. Last season, I think he got probably like 5 or 6 maybe. Probably getting it wrong, remind me in the comments. But I just feel like since towards the end of last season and pre-season, Martinelli just have not looked himself. Hence the reason why I actually opted for TROSSARD to start over Martinelli. He came on and I think it was literally his first touch. I'm sure it is. First touch and he scores. And literally, and I was just like, here we go. Thank God. Finally, that goal that we've literally been craving and wanting. He comes on, first touch, bang, 1-0. And I was just honestly like, I'm sure I probably lost my voice for a second, but it was such a fantastic goal. And it was just going to be one of those games, once the first goal goes in from either or the teams, seeing as we're trying to work each other out, it was going to be a case of now the game is going to be open. And whatever team scores first is a case of now the losing team would have to now come out either to try and get a draw or obviously try to get the win. And it just looked like, I mean, Villa did obviously try a couple of times. There was a moment, I think it was Ramsey, he was through on goal. I think it was still at 1-0, and I literally thought, oh my God, like literally, okay, he's going to score. It's through on goal. And Lord behold, Saliba just comes out of nowhere. Honestly, like that slide tackle, it's like a match-winning tackle. Honestly, there's a reason why Arsenal fans keep hyping up William Saliba and saying he's basically one of the best centre-backs in the world, because that tackle, it could have gone wrong and he could have given away a penalty, which obviously they could have converted. But to me, that was a match-saving tackle, honestly speaking. So kudos to Saliba. And we just basically looked like ourselves again. We started moving the ball around quite easily again. It started flowing once again. And before you know it, we got our second goal. And I know, again, I did say in my previous video, it's like the jury's still out on Thomas Partey. Some people are saying he's in his last year of the contract, sell him, move him on. It's getting on now because of his injury record. But honestly, as fans, we just need to believe in our players. And I kept saying it. I still believe in Thomas Partey. I mean, when he scores goals, he scores bangers. Let's be honest. And he scored another banger today. Yes, Martinez got a hand to it, but it wasn't strong enough. And Thomas Partey got his second goal. And I think that was the goal that we needed just to calm everything right down, because it was getting a bit tense in the stadium. You can feel a little bit of nerves. I was definitely getting nervous. I don't know about you guys, but I was definitely getting nervous thinking, I know it's only 1-0 to the Arsenal, but the way the game was going, Villa could have just got one chance and they could have equalised and all our heads would have just gone down. So yeah, Partey's second goal, literally, I think that basically just solidified the win for us, in my opinion. And I think overall, I personally think that Thomas Partey really had a very good game. I think there was an incident in the first half, for example, when he probably could have brought Ramsey down, I think. And then obviously Declan Rice had to do that job, and obviously subsequently he got a yellow card. Apart from that, from my memory of the game, Thomas Partey had a very, very good game, in my opinion. So yeah, please guys, let's just keep supporting this guy. It looks fit, it looks on, it looks sharp. It's only the second game of the season. I get it, I'm not getting carried away, but I just think if Thomas Partey can get to the heights of Thomas Partey 2 seasons ago, we've got every chance of challenging for the Premier League definitely this season. So with all this strength and depth that we have on the bench as well. So yeah, honestly, I'm happy to say the least. This was one of the bogey. I didn't want it to be one of the bogey teams from last season that obviously will go to their stadium and then will struggle once again. But this was a game that we had to win, considering like this fixture, we lost home and away last season. Unai Emery seems to be getting one over Arteta, and he's finally got one back. And I just feel like in order for us to keep on our upward trajectory in winning the Premier League, we had to win games like this away from home. As I said before in my previous videos, we have got a good away record against Aston Villa, and we've just literally made it better. Honestly, this win just made it a lot sweeter because of what happened last season, and most especially because of Martinez. Take that. How about that? But yeah, my man of the match for this game, definitely, I mean, it has to go to David Raya. He had a good game, especially I think that, like I said, that save, a match-winning save, and you just have to give him his credit. Honestly, I think I was one of the people last season when he came in on loan initially, I was like, what do we need David Raya for? We've got Ramsdale, but you know what? Put your hands up, give credit where credit's due. Arteta and the team, they knew what they were doing. They got Raya in. He got 16 clean sheets in the Premier League last season. And he's showing his qualities once again. He's only 2 games in. But honestly speaking, I put my hands up. He's a fantastic goalkeeper, world class. And we hardly concede goals. So that's 2 clean sheets in 2 games already this season. So yeah, so that is my man of the match. One question I do have in regards to this game, as we know, Gabriel Jesus was injured. It was reported that he's got groin injury. That is a concern for me, which now begs the question I'm sure everyone's going to keep asking. Do we now need to go into the final week of the transfer window? Do we need to sign a striker? And in my opinion, we do, because there's reports to suggest Fabio Vieira is going on loan back to Porto. So if he goes, we've lost Emile Smith-Rowe, and Nketiah looks like he's on his way out. I know we're getting Marino in, but it's like we don't have a good enough cover, in my opinion. Wanyeri, yes, is good, is a good prospect, but is he the player to potentially replace the likes of a Vieira, for example? You just never know. We are literally like 1 or 2 injuries away from not looking like a complete team, and then we start changing things around, and it just looks like we need to strengthen, honestly speaking. So I'm going to put it out there to you guys. Do we need to go into this final window of the transfer window, this final week, sorry, to sign a striker? Because in my opinion, we need to sign a striker. And who should that striker be? Let me know in the comments. If I was to choose right now, he has to be Gyökeres for me. He's available. He's banging in goals. I know he's only the Portuguese league, but he's banging in goals. So personally, that is the player that I would go for. Let me know in the comments below, what striker would you go for if you feel like we need to sign a striker? Because I just don't feel like Havertz is going to last the whole season. I did predict he's going to score at least 20 goals this season, but if Jesus can't keep fit and then Nketiah is on his way out, we need decent cover. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What was your thought on the game? How did you predict the game to be? What was your predicted score? Did you get it right? And yeah, I would love to hear what you guys have got to say in the comments below. And like I said, if you haven't already, like and share this video. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video, where I'll be giving a weekend preview of all the games. And until the next one, take care, guys.